and transparent process, but last night hundreds of ratepayers were locked out of a Charles Sturt council meeting which decided the fate of the controversial St.Clair land swap. But angry residents say it isn't the end. They're vowing to fight on as the issue now heads to the Supreme Court. Basil Melandris reports.
Not joining the rally today?
Oh, maybe not.
People need to be confident that their government and their councils make decisions for the right reasons. And a lot of people are now not at all convinced that that is the case.
They were pretty disgusted, I think, with what they saw tonight.
It was a case of keeping the Charles Sturt ratepayers out of sight and out of mind.
And you were all locked out?
We were all locked out.
Some 600 people crammed into the Woodville chambers where they expected to witness the final vote on whether to save St.Clair Park from a contentious land swap. What they got were locked doors and dozens of police officers.
We're basically stuffed like sardines into an area that's basically a walkway into the council chambers. So once again, we've been shown no respect by this council.
But this crowd, these mums, dads, kids and grandparents, were not going to be silenced, regardless of what they've been labelled by the likes of Attorney General Michael Atkinson.
It is a case of rent-a-mob.
We are not the unruly mob that we've been branded.
Of the handful who did manage to get into the public gallery, they say they were stunned to find not only empty chairs, but the majority of seats taken up by Charles Sturt employees or friends of councillors. Clearly, this had all the signs of an orchestrated campaign to keep out the dissenters.
There were a few, shall we say, council stooges once again, occupying the seats that were there.
And Mayor Harold Anderson's warning if anybody dared speak out.
And anybody that interferes with that, one of us for them to be removed.
So why is it that council wants to avoid public scrutiny over the controversial issue to hand over the pristine park to housing developers? Well, perhaps we shouldn't be looking at these chambers, but these.
This project depends on the St.Clair Actal land swap, and the success of that depends on approval by the Minister of State Local Government Relations. So an ALP policy coming through an ALP-dominated council will be assessed by an ALP minister.
Independent MLC David Winderlich says he can't believe the only umpire allowed to assess the validity of the land swap is ALP Minister Gail Gago, who, surprise, surprise, signed off on the deal in record time, even before an environmental report had cleared the old, contaminated Actal site.
I'm not aware of any evidence of impropriety or breach.
He's now calling for an independent authority to investigate.
So it's time to bring in the Ombudsman?
I believe it is. There are so many questions being asked, there are credible concerns being raised, and we need to have this matter cleared up. We need to clear the innocent and catch the guilty if they are guilty.
The potential for conflicts of interest are undeniable. Of the 17 elected members of council, 12 are members of the ALP, although only 11 have declared their interest on official council documents. 3 councillors are directly employed in nearby MPs' offices, including the member for Enfield, John Rao, whose wife Anna, incidentally, holds a seat on council. But there are also many others who work in state government departments, like Councillor Massey, who works for the Department for Transport, or Councillor Luscri, who works with the Department of Planning. But what's not on the record of councillors' interests is their extensive volunteer work and sub-branch membership for state MPs like Attorney General Mick Atkinson.
How many councillors in that council?
None of them would be the least influenced by me on this issue. They would make their own decision.
And yet you would have helped a number of them get elected.
Well, I would have helped one of them, of the 15, get elected, possibly 2.
Suddenly, the big sell on St.Clair, the glossy taxpayer-funded ads costing thousands of dollars, are starting to lose their shine.
You've got to convince yourself this is a good deal for the people of this city, otherwise you have to say no.
Unfortunately, not even a last-minute appeal to the Supreme Court for a judicial review could prevent the inevitable last night. Once again, the majority of councillors, who are mostly Labor members, voted to go ahead with the deal.
The motion is lost.
The deal to remove a picture-perfect parcel of land in the middle of Labor's disenchanted heartland.
You still going to fight?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you heard the crowd tonight. I mean, we asked them to maintain the rage, and that is exactly what they're going to do. I mean, this is going to be an election issue. Basically, our only chance now is to vote, is to put Labor last, as everyone was chanting today.
Well,